Good morning. You're through to Homes4D&G. How can I help?
Good morning, thanks for calling Homes4D&G. How can I help?
Homes for Dumfries and Galloway is a name that we've given to the Common Housing Register, and the partners in the Common Housing Register are Dumfries and Galloway Council, Lordburn Housing Association, Dumfries and Galloway Housing Partnership, Homes Scotland and IRFAN, and we're working together to introduce the Common Allocation Policy and Register.
Dumfries and Galloway Council was the strategic lead for the CHR project, and those 4 registered social landlords were key partners with the council. And between them, they manage and own in excess of 95% of all the affordable housing stock in the region.
It's brilliant because it means they only need to fill in one housing application form if they want to apply for housing, social housing in Dumfries and Galloway, and it's one allocation policy, so it's one set of points. All our properties are allocated in the same way. It's one central point of contact for applicants.
The old system was that essentially applicants had to apply individually to 4 or more RSLs, and you take your chances about whether or not you get considered for a particular property if you just happen to be on their list. With this new system, you just make one application and you're guaranteed that you'll be considered for all available stock within those 4 RSLs.
An applicant can phone up our customer service centre or call into any of our local offices within the region and ask for an application form. We can post an application form out, and applicants can also apply online through our Homes4D&G website, which is something new that we haven't been able to do before, so that's really exciting.
I think it offers a much more transparent way for us all to allocate properties, because there's no doubt it's been confusing to customers before, where they have 100 points from one landlord and 5 points from another. It's impossible for people to try and understand why that would be.
In terms of the council's specific responsibilities as well, it allows us to be much more responsive to the needs of homeless households for whom we've got statutory responsibility, and to make sure that we try and make best use of the stock for the significant number of homeless households that we need to assist throughout the year.
We're looking to rehouse people obviously with the most priority need, and we carried out a lot of consultation prior to developing the Common Allocation Policy to determine the point categories and the level of points required to ensure that the people in priority need and in the most housing need would be top of the waiting list.
I think the biggest impact is obviously on the people who are applying for housing. Instead of having to go around all the various organisations and fill in application forms individually and then keep all those application forms up to date, they fill in one application form. It's very easy. If they have a change of circumstances or they move, they've just got one point of contact. It's so much easier.
I feel that one application form for all is a great idea. You don't have to travel around 4 different organisations and collect 4 different forms and fill them in. You just fill in the one form and that does everything.
I think the benefits of being able to fill the form online is you can do it in the comfort of your own home, on your laptop, your iPad. You don't have to go to an office to collect a form. I think it's great that you can actually now apply for housing online, which you couldn't do before. So I think it should be a great benefit to a lot of people.
Okay, so what's the main reason that you've applied for a new accommodation? Obviously there's a lot of different examples there.
Medical reasons.
Medical reasons, okay.
I like to come into an open office so that I can have face-to-face contact with someone to help me fill in the form, so that if I make a mistake that they're there to correct me and to make sure that I've sent in all things that needs to be sent in, like medical forms.
I think simplifying the process will be the biggest difference they'll notice. It'll be far more straightforward, it'll be quicker, it'll be more flexible for them, and it'll increase the amount of choice they have across the region as well, and the type of house they're looking for.
When an applicant applies for housing, we assess the application and point it accordingly of the policy, looking at the size of accommodation that the applicant and their family requires and the property types. For example, if someone required a ground floor and medical, we would look for ground floor accommodation for that applicant. And when we get a vacancy, we run a match with the criteria, bedroom size, family composition, etc. to find the best person for the property.
The benefits are for applicants, they only need to apply to one list and we'll each have a common allocations policy. So we're all going to be allocating the properties in the same way. But I see this very much as just stage one of the process. Stage two is about looking at housing options and how we can improve access to housing for homeless and other people across the region.
We'll continue to work together, continue to develop both the CHR and other elements that go alongside that. And it's the foundation of, I think, a real long-term commitment from ourselves and all the partners in terms of how we deal with affordable housing.
Homes4D&G is new, it's very exciting, it's a good opportunity for tenants, but don't forget that housing associations still remain in place and they'll be there to support you in making any applications you wish to make for Homes4D&G.
It's been a really rewarding project to be involved in, that it's given DGHP the opportunity to work with all the other RSLs that operate in Dumfries and Galloway and the council. And there's a real sense of enthusiasm in wanting to get the Common Housing Register implemented.